This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Recently, our friend of the channel, Siran J. Zhao, released a two-part video in which many Southeast Asian artists roasted the film Raya and the Last Dragon for hours. They point out how the film mashes the diverse cultures of an entire region into unrecognizable, superficial Easter eggs. For example, they take a sacred ceremonial dagger of Indonesia and turn it into an anime whip sword, detaching it from its cultural connection, rendering it into a literal Halloween merchandise. Yikes. And food. It messes up Asian people's food. You don't mess with Asian people's food, you f***. It's clear many Southeast Asian people have problems with this Southeast Asian inspired movie. And that begs the question. Big Trouble in Little China, The Last Dragon, American Ninja, Double Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, Enter the Fist, Ninja Turtles, and even Kill Bill. Are these movies also problematic? And if they are, should we, dare I say, cancel Tarantino? Preposterous, right? It's a touchy subject. You can't bring up racism in people's favorite movies without someone getting really defensive, but this is also a topic that should be discussed openly. Today, I want to do just that. Let's keep an open mind, and let me share my thoughts on why we accept some films for cultural appropriation, but not others, and how we should handle problematic cultural depictions in films that we otherwise love. Let's talk. So, why is Raya criticized by Southeast Asian people, but films like Kung Fu Panda are widely loved by Chinese folks? Answer: intention matters. In our video about Kung Fu Panda, we point out that Chinese people love Kung Fu Panda not for its cultural authenticity, but its passion and sincerity to Kung Fu movies. That is, in fact, a common theme among many of the classics. Kung Fu Panda, Kill Bill, and Big Trouble in Little China are all essentially love letters to Hong Kong cinema, and that's important in two ways. Number one, they express genuine interest in Asian cinematic culture. Many of these beloved films openly express their passion for the cultures that inspire them. It can be the narrative.
I love Kung Fu!
The love is expressed through the story. It can also be the style, like how Tarantino nails the violent aesthetic from Lady Snowblood. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and that stands true here too. These films never claim to be the authentic original. Imitation is the goal, making any inaccuracies more tolerable. At the same time, the film also signals to us that they are doing this because it's cool. It's flattery. But it also directs people's interest towards the original source instead of erasing it. It's no coincidence that all three films present a story featuring a kinda non-Asian lead learning from an Asian master. It allows the film to present its sincere passion through the filmmaker's self-insert, which is important because, number two, these films were inspired by personal experiences. Kill Bill is famously inspired by Tarantino's experience as a video store clerk, watching hours upon hours of Asian films, which shaped his style and his personhood. The Last Dragon is a love letter to Bruce Lee films, films that shaped black culture in the 70s and 80s, films that inspired the Kung Fu blaxploitation subgenre. In both productions, the Asian cultural elements weren't brought in externally. They were internal experiences from the filmmaker's personal history. In other words, these films weren't attempting to represent a culture, it's about how the filmmakers fell in love with that culture. It's why these films managed to express their sincerity. Perspective makes a huge difference. While the cultural misuse is problematic in Raya, the negativity surrounding its problems is most definitely amplified by the fact that it is a Disney movie. While the script was written by two Southeast Asian writers, whatever passion the filmmakers had was washed away by the Disney machine, rendering everything into mere set dressings. In summary, Kung Fu Panda and Raya have different intentions, so we judge them differently. Kung Fu Panda is an American film made to express the love for Kung Fu movies, But Raya is an American film attempting to represent Southeast Asian cultures. Kung Fu Panda succeeds at voicing its passion. Raya fails at being a thing that it can never be. Just from the previous example, it's clear how difficult it is to be a writer, as you have to be very aware of how your intention is expressed. Luckily, Skillshare can help you improve your writing skill. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes designed for creative individuals. You can learn how to write short stories, personal essays, and, of course, writing fiction, which is the class I recommend today. Hosted by best-selling author Kirsten White, this class teaches you how to break down your idea into pieces and build it up step by step. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity. Whether you are a beginner writer looking to start your journey, or a veteran writer struggling with writer's block, Skillshare can help you every step of the way. Give it a look today, and thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Beyond authorial intention, context also matters. When judging a film by its context, there are at least two things we check for. Number 1. How old is the film? The further back we go, the more difficult it was for people to experience culture outside of our own. The normalization of casual racism, the limitation of information flow, all have an effect on us. Thus, we are more willing to give old films more leeway. Is Big Trouble in Little China a movie with questionable stereotypes? Or is it one of the earliest examples of an action movie set in America featuring an Asian male lead? Is Mr. Miyagi a tired, magical Asian trope? Or a rare case of a sympathetic Asian father figure in 1980s Hollywood? If we judge a film by today's moral standard, things rarely age well. More often, we judge films by asking, is the film better than what came before? In other words, these classics may progress back in the day. The same certainly cannot be said with Raya, a film that still renders people's culture as Halloween costumes. Number 2. How big is the production? Is Kung Pao Enter the Fist a tasteless film with a white savior narrative? Or a low-budget passion project celebrating a culture that was not yet popular in the West? For a film with only a $10 million budget, these VFX are nothing but passion and hard work. Its small-scale production affects the film's perceived intention. While it certainly doesn't absolve low-budget films from their flaws, some may be more willing to overlook the problems in order to celebrate their successes. The point is, small productions may not be blameless, but large productions hold way more responsibility in this matter. Disney has the reach to ensure their cultural authenticity, yet here we have 4 hours worth of corrections. And the solution is so simple. Work with a Southeast Asian production company. Being a recent film made by the biggest film company on earth, Raya is just tone deaf. Finally, it's important to note that it's okay to engage and even like a film in spite of its problematic elements. The 1998 Mulan fails in cultural representation in many ways. It takes great liberty with the original source materials. It's a big Disney production with a Chinese core paint. By all metrics mentioned today, it fails. But I still love the movie because it is a good movie. Having a representational problem doesn't entirely negate its goods. I asked our Southeast Asian viewers if they enjoyed Raya, and of all the people who watched it, about half of them still enjoy it despite issues. And those who didn't enjoy it mostly dislike it because it's just not that good of a movie. The problematic elements are often brought up, but almost never a complete deal breaker. In truth, when we say a film has problematic elements, it doesn't mean the film itself is entirely problematic. It doesn't mean the film is evil or bad, and it certainly doesn't mean you are bad for liking it. Yes, a lot of the classic films we mentioned before have their problems. Big Trouble in Little China, The Last Dragon, and even Kung Fu Panda employ some questionable imagery for the villains. But we still love these films. Film as an art is a reflection of the people who make it. Like people, films are complex. Great films can still have problems, problematic films can still be lovable. That's why it is important to study film and art, to be able to engage with it, dissect its meanings, learn how it affects your perception, and in the process, understand your own biases. Keep in mind, all of that is just my personal opinion. Whether or not a film is problematic is up to you to decide. How a film will be remembered by the world, however, requires an open and honest discussion, which is not an easy process. These discussions can often last for years, decades. Sometimes seemingly settled discussions can even be resurrected.
Hello there.
Like how the Star Wars prequels are loved again, apparently. In these discussions, it's tempting to get defensive and angry. After all, films are an important part of our cultural identity. But know this, no film is perfect, just as no one is perfect. Being able to acknowledge problems in our favorite films is like being able to see our own flaws. It is a necessary step for us to march forward as a better person.